Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode. Today is really cool to me because I've been waiting to talk to Mr. Rudy Koch for a long time. For anybody who doesn't know Rudy is the co-founder and head of blockchain at Mythical Games, as well as the former senior producer at Blizzard, who's worked on some really incredible games like World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, amongst many, many more. Rudy, man, I understand Mythical Games is coming to EOS, and I'm just super excited to be able to sit down and have a conversation with you today. So thank you so much for joining me.
That's awesome. Thanks for having me, Matt. Really excited to talk.
Yeah, me too. As we were kind of talking a little bit about in the preamble, it's with the bear market and everything going on, I'm seeing a lot of very similar type applications pop up on EOS. And given your background and some of the things that we're going to talk about today, when I finally saw Mythical Games pop up, it's really, I won't say I lost faith, but it's really given me a lot of faith in the fact that EOS is here to stay. And we'll get into that a little bit, I guess. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, kind of why did you decide to form Mythical Games, and where did that inspiration come from?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we've been in the games industry for a long time. We've seen a lot of evolution over the years. In particular, mobile, had a tremendous impact on games across the world. And when we found out about blockchain, we were instantly drawn to it. We thought, wow, this is potentially another mobile, all over again. And the more we started to dig into it, the more excited we got about it. The concepts of true ownership of digital assets. We were hearing, people were making money playing blockchain games, and these were all concepts that we're really, really drawn to. And, we get excited anytime we find a tool that sort of challenges the way we've been doing things, or allows us to do something unique or different, or deliver an experience that's different, and then, we got really excited when we found blockchain, because it was exactly that kind of a tool for us. And then from there, it was kind of a no-brainer. Let's go, let's get in there and start peeling back the layers.
I love it because I get really excited when I see somebody who is kind of, held the positions that you've held on a lot of the games that I grew up with. We're not talking about some small game companies. We're talking about some major players and some of the things that have really kind of shaped the history of gaming. So I know you guys have a really stacked team, Rudy. Can you kind of speak about maybe some of the backgrounds that the various team members have and some of the value that they ultimately add to the project?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the team is the thing that I'm most excited about, really, in all of this. I mean, we have such an incredible crew. And, as we sort of venture out into blockchain and games, and, building products, there's a whole myriad of challenges ahead of us. We got to design the right games, we got to build the right technology, we got to deal with some probably really unique technical challenges and game design challenges that we haven't seen before. And I feel like our team is just perfectly set up to take on all of those challenges that we have ahead of us. We have John Linden and Jamie Jackson, who were both studio heads at Activision. There were 9 studios at Activision, and 2 of the studio heads are now part of Mythical, which is quite incredible. I mean, they're bringing a wealth of experience from the game world to the table. And then on the other side, we've got Stephen Cunningham, who leads the very talented technical team down in LA, who comes from, massive enterprise level marketplace and platform infrastructure development. And him and his team are poised to take on all the unique challenges, technical challenges that we have ahead of us. So, I'm really, like I said, I'm just really excited about the team. I think we have just the perfect, set up with skills to be able to tackle what's ahead, because it isn't just, blockchain isn't just sort of a one-trick pony. There's a lot of, there's a lot of complexity now in dealing with it, and a lot of exploration. It's how do we use it right? How do we integrate with it? But, there's more that we don't even know yet. As we uncover more, we discover more about what blockchain can do. And as the technology itself evolves, continues to evolve, like I was saying earlier, you're a veteran in EOS from our perspective, it's a brand new toy, that we have yet to uncover all the wonder. So, yeah, really excited about the thing.
I am too. And it was when I really started to explore that page on Mythical Games. And I'll make sure I post that below. And I took a look at not only yourself, but a lot of the team members involved that are really starting to get excited, because you guys are in a pretty good spot, and I know it's going to be big. So before we get too far ahead, how did you've held some really, really big positions yourself at various gaming companies. Where did this passion come from, and how did you kind of get your start, Rudy?
Well, I guess if you sort of ask anyone my age how we got into games, you're not going to get a very orthodox answer. Today we have like schools you can go to, and I've met kids who go to like a 4-year game design program at university. And we didn't have that when I was young, but I do remember, video games were a huge part of my childhood, and growing up, I just remember wanting to just be a part of it. I just wanted to be a part of it. In fact, when I was 15, I applied to work at Blizzard. I was playing Novogratz 1 or 2 at the time. It was very early days for Blizzard, and I was just like, you know what? This game was so amazing. I just need to be a part of it. And so 15-year-old me wrote a resume that had no experience on it, just basically said, I'm really good at photocopying. And I sent it in, and I didn't get a call back. But, I was really pumped at the idea of just working on something that had such a tremendous impact and had brought so many memories, great memories for me. And sure enough, 25 years later, just under 25 years later, I got to actually work at Blizzard, and not just Blizzard, but on the World of Warcraft team, which, arguably one of the most prolific teams in games. So, yeah, I'm excited that potentially the stuff that I could do can have the same impact on the kids growing up today. The same way, the games of the old had an impact on me.
Yeah, and they definitely did, because everybody, whatever, like I grew up and I played rugby, but you damn well bet I sat there and played StarCraft until my eyes bled.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I remember StarCraft. Oh man, I was terrible at it, but I played it. Yeah.
Yeah, like everybody. It wasn't just like a market segment of kids who were like, oh yeah, kind of maybe. Everybody played these games, and everybody had a part of these games. Yeah. Some of the origins that you're coming from really have kind of, everybody's got a connection. I don't know many people who haven't played something prolific by a lot of the companies that you've worked for and loved it.
Yeah. And it's definitely something special about being able to be a part of putting out an experience that for people, like that, so yeah.
How did you find EOS? I guess, of course, that's kind of the next sequential question. Yeah. EOS and blockchain.
Yeah. For me, personally speaking, I found out about blockchain back in February of this year. So not, it feels like forever in the rate at which the industry is moving. Just back in February of this year. And I found out about CryptoKitties. They made big waves with what they did. They're actually based in Vancouver, which is my hometown.
Yep.
And I started digging into it. And like I said, I was instantly drawn to the possibility. I was really captivated by this idea that, digital assets, true ownership of digital assets. This was big. This was huge to me because, you throughout all the games that I've played, World of Warcraft is a perfect example. You collect stuff. You collect stuff, and that's you attach value to those things that you collect, and you care about your accounts. You care about the characters that you play with. I have such a deep attachment to my the characters that I've spent hundreds of hours playing and collecting unique stuff, and I have some really rare stuff. Yeah. And so, even though it was a little bit of a mind bender to go, okay, I can now truly own these things. It just took me a while to understand that, but it was mind blowing to me. Like, wow, that, I could really truly own things, these digital assets that I put so much value in, and that allows me to then trade them and sell them, and that to me was just really, it just was an incredible idea. So, as I started digging into more, I think I mentioned that, I started to find people who were sort of buying and trading and selling assets and making a living off of it. And that one blew my mind. That one really, really blew my mind, because I was like, wow, if this is real, this is big, this idea. So in mobile, free to play was this concept that was sort of born out of mobile. We've seen over the last 10 years, sort of evolution of free to play, and it permeated games all over, for better or for worse, whatever your opinions are on it. And so I was imagining, I remember looking at this at blockchain and imagining, well, there's sort of is the future pay to earn? Is there something there where I go and I play and I earn? Maybe play to earn is a better way. Play to earn is a better term for that, where I can go and I can make money off the games that I love to play. Because again, I have true ownership over the things that I earn. Wow, that's super powerful. And then I start to remember, like several years ago, no one could have guessed that you could play, you could stream yourself playing a game, and people would pay you. They would watch you and pay you, right? And now we have Twitch doing exactly that. And people it's their job. It's a living. These are jobs that never existed. I don't think it's far-fetched to think that there's a future, however many years from now, where people can earn money playing the games. I think that's an incredibly powerful paradigm. And so from there, I started to dig into Ethereum, obviously, because that's been around for a fair bit. And I started to play the games that I was seeing a lot of games coming out, small experimental games coming out. I was playing them. And for me, I think, I just sort of struggled with the barriers in Ethereum. I struggled with, to give you an example, I played a game where I went to do a move, and I guess I didn't put enough gas or something. And so it just hung and for hours until it failed. And meanwhile, I couldn't do anything. And to me, it's just a horrendous user experience. And when you're talking about wanting to, in our case, drive mass adoption, those become real barriers. And so, then we started to look, okay, what else is there? And we came across EOS. EOS focused on scalability and focused on solving those problems. We got really excited. We saw a blockchain where we believe we can build the games that we wanted to. And so, we really kind of got drawn to EOS for those reasons. And here we are.
Just to reiterate on your point, I actually know a bunch of people who got into cryptocurrency who actually had full-on companies like mining resources in World of Warcraft. So what you're saying is absolutely the truth. There is a full industry out there already. Never mind if you're going to tokenize assets and provide a true digital ownership. I mean, like, this is right?
Yeah, you're 100% right. And that's the thing to me, like, I see blockchain as a very natural next step for games. It's the perfect next step for games, because all of these concepts have existed. You can look back through all the games where, secondary markets existed. Ashlon's Call was a popular one where I had family members who would play and earn stuff and go and sell it on eBay. Yeah. Even in World of Warcraft, I could, it's against the terms of service, so I won't, but I could turn around and sell my account on eBay, and it'd be worth quite a lot, because I've been playing for 14 years and I've earned some really rare stuff that doesn't exist anymore. So these paradigms have sort of always existed, but for me, blockchain really empowers them. It really invigorates those paradigms and allows you to do it in such a profound way. And the thing that I'm excited about is that I believe blockchain is going to allow us to do those things, bring those concepts to any game. In the past, they've traditionally been reserved for these massive blockbuster games. You see World of Warcraft, thriving economies, you see EVE Online. That's where you saw these kind of paradigms play out at their best. But blockchain, I think will help us bring that to more games, and it will become a standard. And the reason I say it's an evolution is because, we've been doing this for a while. Even if you look at the games today, developers are making games where the emphasis is on customization, on, buying and selling items, and so the gamers are getting used to these concepts. They've been immersed in it, and blockchain is only going to just now take that and make it, a mainstream concept that you can put in any game, which is amazing. I think that's so powerful.
Me too. And that's what I'm really excited about, because my next question was actually going to talk about how do you think we can kind of create some hybridized products between blockchain, but you just explained it. Player-owned economies is something that's already being done. It's just the next natural step. And then when you talk about mass adoption, I really believe that this is an excellent use, because a lot of the times, this is something Dan Larimer has talked about before, some of the best games are kind of those games that, or the applications or whatever, that have like this blockchain association built into it, but you might not necessarily know what's running on blockchain. And those are the ones that are going to drive mass adoption in the gaming market. Like the World of Warcraft market is massive. Like it's huge. So
absolutely,
it's such an easy crossover into a completely different market segment. We're not talking about blockchain enthusiasts. We're talking about gaming enthusiasts. And there are millions and millions and millions of people all around the world who are looking to play some of the games of the caliber that I know that you guys are going to produce. So,
yeah, absolutely. And, I think, we're extremely excited about blockchain, as are many. And just, to go and touch upon the point you made with what Dan Larimer said,
yeah.
I think we're very excited about blockchain. But I think we also have to be careful, because blockchain is a technology. It would be like saying, hey, we're building a game on AWS, everyone, get excited. The mainstream crowd, they don't really pay attention to that stuff. Yeah. And so for us, the most important thing, and in terms of what we believe putting our best forward is creating a great game experience that players love and engage with. That's, and going back to the team, that's what we've been doing. That's what we know. We're coming at it from that that background in terms of expertise as well, and going, we know how to make games that people love to play. Let's now see how we can enrich those experiences with blockchain. But at the end of the day, players probably aren't going to pay much attention to the fact that there's blockchain there. And they don't really need to.
They don't have to, man. They don't have to. As long as it drives adoption, they don't have to. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I'm excited. I wanted to ask you really quickly, how much of the information is actually going to be stored on chain versus stored off chain? Because I would have to imagine that in order to create like a super hyper intuitive, gaming interface, that you're only going to put things onto the blockchain that you really would need to ultimately. And I think that it would kind of maybe be wasteful if you're piling on a bunch of graphics or whatever else it might be. What are we looking kind of as stored on chain, and what might potentially be stored off chain?
Yeah. So, I'll start by saying, one of our, core philosophies at the moment is, we don't see a future, at least not anytime soon, where you have blockchain games. Yeah. What we believe is you have games that use blockchain. And what I mean by that is that, again, going back to, we are very excited about blockchain. We're very excited about exploring what it can do and what it's capable of. And I think we have years ahead of us of exploring and understanding how to wield this amazing technology. But I think we also have to be really critical about what we believe its true value is to what we're doing, and not just use it for the sake of using it, and not just use blockchain because it's blockchain. And so we're being very conscious to tread carefully there. And, again, maybe there's a future years from now where the entire games are on blockchain, but right now, where we are, it doesn't seem feasible. And so for us, we're committed to, I'm really excited to explore every nook and cranny of blockchain. It's an amazing paradigm that we're diving into and trying to figure out how it fits. But right now, I think the thing that we are most excited about, and the thing we think has the most value, is this idea, like I said, of being able to, true ownership of digital assets, this verifiable scarcity, where you can say, okay, well, we're going to only have 20 of these or 40 of these, and it's transparent and verified on the blockchain. and then, what those things can do to sort of fuel a healthy secondary market. And that doesn't have to live outside of the game now. It doesn't have to be some third party marketplace. It can live right in the game where people can buy, sell, and trade. I mean, that's pretty powerful. So, that's kind of what sort of rolls up into this idea of player-owned economy, and where we think blockchain has a ton of value. So, at the very least, who knows where we'll be a year from now or even 6 months from now. But right now, at the very least, tokenizing assets, tokenizing the things that you earn, we think has a tremendous amount of value, and that's sort of where we started.
Yeah, I think it's counterintuitive to jam things onto the blockchain, just to jam them onto the blockchain, use it as it fits with your product and ensure like a consistent flow. And it's going to create value and things are going to go well. So I personally understand. Like, I think that you want to keep it as lean as possible so that the game functions and that it's a hybrid product, as opposed to just trying to put something on chain to put it on chain. When it makes sense, you do it, and when it doesn't, you don't. So that's kind of what I was thinking anyway. And I totally understand what you're talking about there. I had the opportunity to go check out the newest trailer for Blanco's Block Party, which I absolutely love because it had the quality that I would kind of come to expect from you guys. It was really, really cool. Do you think more so that some of the projects that you're working on are actually going to really kind of maybe open up some of the other private market sectors to what the technology is capable of and what you can achieve by using blockchain? Like, do you think that maybe when you're able to pull off some really, really cool products that incorporate this type of tech, others may look, and you might possibly create almost like a Trojan horse into the technology itself? Is that feasible?
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely. I mean, Mythical, we're right at the dawn of this sort of journey with blockchain, and it was so early in the market, and people are going to catch on to this. They're going to catch on to this blockchain the same way they caught on to mobile, and we believe that it's going to have a huge impact on the game. We believe that people are going to see this technology and get really excited about it. Developers, I'm talking about. Developers are going to get really excited about this technology in the same way we are. I think, it's going to take a few of us to sort of push that forward and, help show the potential and possibility. And, I think we're poised, perfectly to do just that. I think we're in it so early to start pulling all of this together and starting to figure it all out. And then we can sort of, show the world what the possibilities are. And we have no doubt, I have no doubt that people are going to get really excited.
I have no doubt either. And apparently I'm not the only one, and you're not the only one, because Galaxy Digital recently injected $16 million into Mythical Games, which was a massive, massive announcement. And it's something that I was personally really, really excited about. Like, Mike Novogratz is no slouch. If he sees value in what you're doing, and how could he not, given your team, then I think that it's probably a really good investment on his behalf. Where does kind of Mythical Games go from here? And what are some of those funds going to be located for, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, sure. I mean, broadly speaking, what I can say is that, we came out of the gates with this sort of vision to help drive adoption of blockchain by creating great game experiences. That's something that we've been doing for years, and that we have that expertise. And, the funding from Galaxy Digital, or the funding that we received, puts us in an extremely strong position to do exactly that. And, we launched right after we announced the funding. We launched Blanco's Block Party trailer at the Gamers' Choice Awards. I mean, this is a really, really incredible sort of milestone. This is for, first sort of game that incorporates blockchain being put in this huge mainstream channel, the Gamers' Choice Awards hosted in LA, and we ended up breaking some records. There was some articles in the blockchain community posted about, we got 136,000 views in just 2 short weeks, making Blanco's the biggest reveal in the blockchain games market. And so, I think, and that's just step one for us. I mean, we've come out of the gates in a really strong position, and you can expect a lot more like that from us, because that's our goal. I mean, we want to keep pushing that, we want to keep driving towards that mainstream market. And, personally, I think that, capturing that mainstream audience is the key to succeeding. I think, the blockchain games community and the blockchain community are very passionate group of people, but I also see them as a small early adopter group that are sort of helping us, prove out the technology and the concept. But in order for us to build a long-lasting business and a game studio, we have to bridge that gap into the mainstream audience. And that's sort of exactly what we did with the trailer. And so, lots more like that coming for sure.
I think you will. And as I kind of mentioned earlier, that's a massive audience. And you guys have the grit, you guys have the experience, you guys have the money, you have everything you need to do to be able to do it. And I know that you're going to. So I'm super excited. I want to ask you a little bit, creating some of these games, right? Of course, you're involved in probably a lot of the creative process. Something that's kind of intuitive, imaginative, and engaging. It couldn't be like an easy process. Where do you find your inspiration? You just kind of like unleash your inner 12-year-old and just like let them loose? Or, what does that process look like, Rudy?
Yeah, I don't know. I think if you're, for us, we're all really passionate gamers. There are games that we love to play, and those come out as sort of inspiration to us. It's a really fun process to sort of imagine what your ideal game would be. And I think on top of that, to be surrounded by, a talented team like we have at Mythical, we get to sort of throw ideas around. And it's an organic process that just sort of, we'll inspire something in each other. We'll have a conversation and then 2 weeks later in the shower or in the middle of the night, some aha moment will hit us and we'll be on the call or on Slack talking to each other. There isn't a formula that I can necessarily point my finger to. But I think it is a combination of the perspective that the team has brought in. We've all come from the game industry, but we all bring in slightly different perspectives and slightly different experiences to the table that are gelling extremely well. And we just riff and, we talk through stuff and, great ideas, seem to be coming from that.
Yeah. You got to love what you do. And then you got to unleash that, that inner 15-year-old who was stuck in the basement, jamming his head into the monitor. That was me also. I totally can, man. Do you guys how do you find balance right now? Is it kind of like a 24/7 affair? Or are you always, or do you still get time to kind of kick back, relax, spend time with the family, hang out?
Yeah, well, it's funny you should ask that because both Jamie and I both had kids recently. Jamie's his son is 6 weeks old. Mine is, almost 12 weeks old. So they're practically newborn. And there's been a couple of moments where we look at each other and we're like, are we really doing this? We're new fathers and we're doing a startup at the same time. This is crazy. So, it is a bit nuts. But, where everybody's being super supportive at Mythical, the team's super supportive and we've been supporting each other. And so, we're going to make it work. And, like I said, it's not, the startup world is it takes a ton of work. But it's also a very organic process, which makes it somewhat flexible for us. We're solving problems whatever hour of the day that we find the solution, So, it's been working so far. I hope it continues to work.
It will, man. It will. You guys are you just have everything in perfect alignment. So I'm really excited to see how everything kind of progresses. Obviously being a first mover, you guys are well supported, well funded. You have the talent. You all come from highly successful positions and highly successful companies. You're kind of building a legacy, I guess. And in a perfect world, I wanted to ask you, Rudy, what does that legacy look like in 5 years?
Yeah, I think certainly personally speaking, I can say that, I'm really thrilled to have a shot at really moving the industry forward, and if not the world forward, in a meaningful way. I mean, blockchain is, to me, an extremely powerful and exciting future. And I think for me to be able to say, yeah, we moved things forward, and we drove adoption. Look, there are millions of people around the world enjoying games with blockchain, and these paradigms that we were so excited about all those years ago. You were right. Look at how great the great of experiences and games we can create for people. That to me is really exciting. I think also what I would love, and I don't know, 5 to 10 years, I don't know how many years, but what I would love to be able to say is that, yeah, there is a future where, people have a greater stake in the games that they love, whether they're earning money or they're creating items or whatever it is. Imagine, I'm a gamer and I'm really good at mining this one ore, and now I can suddenly sell it and make a living off it. That's amazing. Imagine if I'm sort of an aspiring artist, but I have a full-time job. So I create some assets and tokenize them and put them in the game, and suddenly I'm making some revenue on it. I mean, how powerful, that's just so cool. And to me, that just suddenly blows open what the addressable market, in my opinion, because, games have always had a tough time internationally. Yeah. Consoles in particular, the high price barrier made it very difficult for global adoption. Mobile did a bit of a better job, but if we can pull off what we believe can happen with blockchain, suddenly, people who are contributing and making money in whatever way they do, that's a global addressable market.
You're going to have probably young men and older men in Cambodia or wherever else it might be, who might not have had the same opportunities as we do, able to feed their family from mining ore and finding items inside of a game that they can play on their mobile phone. So,
and that's a really exciting thought to me. I mean, if that's something that I can help contribute to, I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man. It really is. I do, of course, see you're super active on Telegram, Rudy, and I definitely want to make a plea. Anybody who has made it this far in the interview, go in there. Rudy is super approachable. I came in, I knocked on the man's door, and I've been begging him for an interview for quite some time. So he finally got sick of my nagging and decided to do it. No, I know. I'm just playing.
I couldn't wait.
I'm honored to be able to sit down and talk to you, because I know that what you're doing is going to be big. I know what you're doing with the team is going to be big. I'm going to make sure I post your Telegram below. I'm going to post the website. If you guys think that Rudy is messing around, go take a look at the trailer for Blanco's Block Party, because it's going to be huge. I guess, Rudy, I want to let you go so you can go and create some kind of new magical, mysterious, thought processes towards some of the things that you're doing. But I wanted to ask you, do you have any words for the EOS community and possibly the gaming community at large before I let you go on your way?
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to say, firstly, that we're absolutely thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled to be part of the EOS community. I'm really excited. I mean, I feel like, you guys have all welcomed us with open arms. It's been great. And, I'm thrilled to also be able to join you guys in, again, evolving this market and pushing things forward. And I'm really excited about the future. And like I said, Matt, come if you want to chat. I love connecting with everyone in the community. Come to Telegram and find me. I'm really easy to get hold of, and I'd love to connect with you guys. And as far as the gamers go, I'm just really excited about what's to come. I think, like I said, it's probably clear from this whole interview how excited I am about blockchain and what it can do. And I'm just really excited to really believe that we're going to be able to bring some really unique, new, and big ideas to games that people are going to love. I can't wait.
Me too. We're honored to have you in the EOS community. I've been excited since I kind of first found out about you. I know that you guys are going to really help spur a lot of mainstream adoption by hybridizing these two markets and just bringing in some really cool, fun products that people can enjoy around the world. And it's a pleasure to sit down with you. I really appreciate you carving out the time for me today, Rudy. I hope that we can do this again. As I said, I'm going to make sure that I list all your info below. And this is the project that we've all been waiting for, man. I can't wait to see it unfold.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Matt. It's been great.
Pleasure, Rudy. We'll see you soon, buddy. Bye.
All right. Take care.
Ciao.